Assalamu alaikum. I am Tanzila Khanam and this is Psychology Basics Intermediate Lectures of Psychology. Now we are studying about the different branches of psychology. Today our topic of discussion is educational psychology. This branch of psychology deals with teaching and learning. It applies the methods based on psychological principles to bring about a disciplined change in the behavior of students. Educational psychology is very vast in its scope and it also includes developmental psychology, social psychology, and psychometry. That includes different psychological tests and testing material, etc. All these branches or these fields are important for giving proper education and training to the students. Educational psychologists work on three factors in the field of education. Number one is objectives. Number two is criteria and content. And the third one is method. Now we shall study them in detail, that how an educational psychologist work in all these different areas. Number one, we will talk about objectives. In education, the first thing that should be determined, first of all, is objectives. Objectives are of two types. Number one is general objectives and specific objectives. General objectives of education refer to the transfer of different things from one generation to the next. These include thoughts, beliefs, values, and customs of ancestors. This is passed on mostly through informal education, like folk stories, historical events, or important happenings that have occurred in the family in the past. If we talk about specific objects, they involve such factors like what changes will be brought in the individual after going through the syllabus, which skills will be improved, etc. And this is done mostly by formal education. For example, fine arts will enhance the artistic ability of the students. This is a specific goal, to enhance the artistic ability. Likewise, learning computer or computer skills will lead to hardware or software expert. So these are the specific goal to improve the specific ability in the student. Educational psychologists help the students to set their specific objectives according to their likes, interests, and aptitude, etc. The second aspect or second factor that educational psychologists stresses on is the criteria and content of the education or syllabus, educational material or the syllabus we teach to the student. This aspect of education is related to content of syllabus. It is related to what a child can learn at a specific age, so that content to be taught can be determined accordingly. Here, educational psychologists perform different tasks that we will study one by one. He identifies the nature and syllabus of training for every age. And he gives answer to such question that when the potential of the child develops fast. When he can learn relatively more difficult skills. Then which topics are important for a particular age. Which subjects are essential for the society. Here you see that environment is also taken into account, that the subjects, those subjects should be taught that are in for the betterment of the society or the people around the student. Next comes which subjects are to be taught to the children with particular talent. As I give you example earlier, at a student with the aptitude of fine arts will be improved his talent in the same area. After a complete and careful study of all these factors, the educational psychologist formulates rules and regulations regarding these issues, as well as the syllabus for each age is also determined. Educational psychologist is the part of the committee of subject specialists that are designing the curriculum. Curriculum committee also involves educational psychologists. If we take an example, that at kindergarten level, children are unable to write essays or learn grammar, or they cannot solve mathematical problems. So, the content of syllabus should be restricted to learning through play, including basic things like alphabets, not essays, numbers, not mathematical problem. So, in this way, criteria and content of the syllabus to be taught is determined, and the educational psychologists play a very important role with the and facilitate this process with the subject specialists. The third main factor in the field of educational psychology that is taken into account for the betterment of educational environment is the method. It includes the method of teaching, assessment of questions, whether it will be a semester or annual system. And most importantly, the relevance of this method with the syllabus. If we elaborate this factor, the educational psychologist takes into account that syllabus at every stage or in every grade is unique and specific. For example, the syllabus at nursery level is different from primary school, and the syllabus for matric level cannot be the same at college level. Based on the type of syllabus, teaching methods are also different. So the type of syllabus determines the method of teaching. For example, at nursery level, children learn through play, poems, coloring, and such type of interesting and fun-based activities. But this is not possible at primary level. Similarly, we cannot teach students through lectures on primary level, but it works well on college level. So we can say that teaching method is modified according to the age, syllabus, and grade or level. So all these things are taken into account while selecting the method of teaching. And other important factor that determines the preparation of syllabus is the IQ level of the students. All type of students, slow, dull, intelligent, and gifted, should be taken under consideration during this process. Educational psychologists help facilitate all these procedures. Other duties of educational psychologists include the following. They provide special education for special or privileged students. They consider the general criteria for the development and growth of children to formulate the syllabus and teaching method at different levels. As we discussed earlier, developmental psychology is also related to the educational setup. Moreover, they also facilitate students in co-curricular activities. These activities may include speech, drama, sports, etc. Then one important duty of educational psychologist is to carefully identify and manage the problems of educational setup. In this regard, he takes into account not only students, but teachers' problems are also considered. Different types of emotional, social, and psychological problems of students and teachers are identified. Measures are taken to settle these issues so that a healthy and conducive educational environment is created. So, this is the brief um, overview of what educational psychologists do in the setup of education, like maintaining the mental health of the students and bring positive changes in the behavior of the students as well as teachers. Hope you found it helpful. If so, please like and share the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.